Hi everyone, welcome to Spirit World Insights. I'm Jackie, and today I wanted to first put out some gratitude to you guys before we get into our message. The animal past life readings that I've been doing for your pets has been really unique and fun. I appreciate the fact that you're allowing me to channel for you. I still have about, let's see, 8 more slots or booking times that I can devote for July. And in July, I'm offering a $50 booking session for doing pet past life reviews. It's always very interesting because I love when people experience the aha moment of things that they had no clue about their pets, but it makes so much sense to them. A lot of the pets, and again, if you've never done this or never been interested in it before, and you might be like, why are people wanting to know the past lives of their pets? It helps you to have a better understanding and deepening your relationship with them so that you can find out maybe why their personality is the way it is. Because some of these pets are coming through as part of your soul family, where you may have incarnated with them before in other lifetimes where you're both human. Some of them are actually turning out to be higher aspects of yourself, to where it's like a soul split. That's been way more common than I expected. Some of them are guides. They're actually here incarnate to help you. Protectors, caregivers. I even had one that's actually somebody well known. That was a complete shock. But, normally it's just going to end up being someone that you either typically incarnate with on a regular basis, like I said, a soul family, or it's going to be maybe a contract soul that's coming in order to help you where you're at this time, in order to give you maybe the companionship or the protection that you need to help you to wake up, right? To be able to be a part of this ascension and complete your mission that you really had a desire to complete the experience that you were looking for. So, yeah, you can email me, Jackie@clearvibration.com, if you're interested in doing one. And let's see, the other thing that, so Metatron is our guide today that is here to bring through messages. And I had a very unique experience that he wants me to kind of relate our topic today to. Because I am not a tech person. I'm very creative, but I don't understand technology well, nor do I want to. So, all this time with YouTube, I just thought that the comments were where you could see them. And I found out yesterday that they were not. I actually found that there were like 30 or 40 comments that I've never seen, never knew where they were located until one of my guides prompted me to open up the YouTube studio, and there they were. So I want to say thank you to everyone over the past however long for your comments, for your engagement, because it really means a lot to me. I'm always asking for it, and I was kind of surprised that I wasn't getting it, but I was getting it. I just didn't know it. So I was really happy yesterday to see that there are people that are watching these videos, and you guys have been responding to me. So thank you for that. And I did go in. I was like, I'm going to make sure I respond to every one of these that were still active. I think they delete maybe after 30 days, but anyway, so thank you, because now that I know where they're located, I will respond much faster if you end up making comments on the videos. Okay, so getting into the message that Metatron has for us today, it has to do with that awareness of sometimes we don't know. Like all that time, I didn't know where the comments were located. I didn't realize that I had something turned on a specific way that was not allowing them to be seen. We don't always know what's going on. It's something happening in the background, so to say. But the thing is eventually there comes a time where things are meant to be brought into the light, so to say, where the time is right, an alignment happens, a choice is made, something like that. An idea is finally, birthed and manifested. And those are the moments that you can expect that there will be epiphanies that come. And it's a beautiful experience, because I think the thing that I see Metatron like showing me is those are really fun times, because when you have these epiphany moments, they're fun. You get so, you know what it's like. You get so excited and so happy and so like proud of yourself, because it's like it's like you've been validated all of a sudden. And yeah, so I'm gonna like call him in and let him like continue channeling this message. So give me just a sec. Okay. Okay. All right. So conscious channeling, that's what I'm doing here today. So he's wanting me to let you know the way that he brought the message topic through to me today. He wanted me to pull cards from Colette Baron-Reid, Oracle of the Seven Energies. Another great deck. Really like this deck. And the first card that he actually had me pull was a burst of magic. And this is all about these magical moments of epiphany. It's about all of a sudden you know what you've been wanting to know, like out of the blue. The answer is there. The idea has been formed. The choice is ready to be made. The alignment finally comes in. There are so many opportunities that we all have for these epiphany magical moments where we have our ahas, where things come together. And when I asked him about why is he bringing this information through, he asked, or he gave me this card, Feeling the World. This card is basically talking about being empathic or being sensitive, vulnerable, connected with the world around you. Okay? And being conscious of the world around you and how it's impacting you can be a great thing in one perspective, because it's actually keeping you in the moment of receptivity so that you can help. Okay, you can be a helpful asset to maybe yourself or maybe your family or maybe in a work environment, etc. But sometimes it can actually be very, very difficult. It can be very challenging. It can even be overwhelming, because when you are sensitive to things, if there are things that are not yours, then it can be confusing. And like Colette Baron-Reid says in there, you don't really know where you end and where the rest of the world begins. And so paying attention and having an understanding that there is a need, he's talking about healthy boundaries being set and made so that you can actually be in your alignment, in harmony and balance, not only within yourself, but with the planet and with other people, and be able to function. Because we all have specific agendas on why, what we want to accomplish that day. We wake up and it's like, well, I want to be able to accomplish this. But what if you go outside and all of a sudden you're hit by difficult weather, or you're hit by a flat tire on your car, or you're dealing with, you've got a sick kid or something. And again, Metatron's saying there are so many different obstacles in the world around you that you happen to be feeling and interacting with that alter your agenda, right? And the idea is, how are you going to react off of that shift that you've got? What is your perception going to be? Because you get to make that choice. Yes, things will happen to you, but if you choose the perception of what it is and what it means, it can change the entire experience. It can take it from anger or upset, disappointment, grief, back into peace, balance, joy, maybe awareness for expansion, change, growth, right? He's reminding me of someone that said something to me this morning about being forced to do something. Something happened and it forced them to do something. And he said, and he had me tell that person, what if you were to take the perspective that that actually happened in order to open up your consciousness to get you to expand into a brand new perception that's actually going to help you? That's how we can look at this. How can we see things from a completely different perspective so that we can get out of the 3D dense version of what happened in the experience and actually find the higher consciousness of it that's wanting to take us into an evolved state? But the choice is yours. Where do you want to be? When you're out there feeling the world and all this stuff that's going on, where do you want to be? Ultimately, that's the question. Metatron's like, that's the question, you guys, that you have to ask yourself. Where do you want to be when you're feeling the world? And he says, and when you're feeling the world, and instead of looking at it at how is it affecting you in a negative way, or why is this happening to me, but you're asking the question more like, what does this mean? Or how could this be helping me? How is it doing something for me instead of against me? He goes, that's when you're going to start having these. Okay? That's when you're going to start having the epiphanies, these little bursts of magic that come out of nowhere. I'm just like blown right now because I'm like, so true. He's so right. He's reminding me, he's like, taking me back to some of these last videos that I've done where he's been talking specifically about, yes, there is drama and trauma all around us all the time because we are meant to learn and grow and expand. You cannot learn something without getting uncomfortable, because if you're not uncomfortable, you get stagnant, you get consistent, you stay where you are. And sometimes we are meant to grow. We're meant to learn something. And this world is changing. That's what the ascension is all about, is growth. expansion, change, moving into bigger, brighter, healthier perspectives for this planet and for humanity. But as we get there, it's uncomfortable. Why is it uncomfortable? Because we're sentient beings. Having this temporary human experience that is hard. It is hard being human. And if you're a person out there that's not dealing with anything difficult, confusing, frustrating right now, then oh, you're blessed. I'm so happy for you. But there's a lot of us that are not in that state right now. We are being stretched. We're being blocked. We're getting criticized. We're just being ignored. Some of us are just being numbed and dumbed down. I mean, we're just constantly being reminded of all of the conditioned false beliefs for hundreds, maybe thousands of years that are coming to the surface to wake us up. We are these powerful, loving, multidimensional beings having a temporary human experience. And we chose to do this. We chose to be here as a part of this ascension. And I know that's hard for some of you to hear. I know it's hard to swallow when you're going through all kinds of negative or difficult situations during this time in this ascension. It's hard to swallow the fact that you might have chosen it. But here's the thing. If you actually take that information and bring it into your heart, I don't want you to take it into your head. I want you to take it into your heart and ask your heart, does this resonate? Could I have possibly chosen this life that I am dealing with? And then I want you to ask yourself, if I did, do I have the tools to handle it? Do I have the mental, emotional, and physical capacity to handle it? I'd be shocked if the answer was no. When you realize that you co-create your existence, your incarnation with Creator, and you decide these are the experiences I want to have. And again, we gave ourselves permission to forget because we were born in a third dimension reality, right? That is changing now. That's why we're waking up. We're remembering. But when you forget and then you go back in and you're like, but these are the experiences, you still came here with all the tools you needed in order to do this. That's why when other people go, oh, I couldn't imagine being in your shoes, because they don't have the toolbox you have. They didn't come in here with what they needed to get through what we're doing, what they're doing. It's all unique. We're all unique with that. And the thing that I love about it, Metatron's reminding me of something he mentioned to me some other time when I was in a consult with someone. He said, tell them that it puts them back in the driver's seat. Because when you realize that you chose this and you have the tools to get through it, all of a sudden you feel like you have the power again. And you're like, oh, wow, hold on. Okay, hold on. I got this. Instead of being in the back seat where you're just like, I got nothing. You get back in the driver's seat and you think, okay. And that's when you start asking the questions. This relates back to another video last week. So it's like, that's when you start asking the questions. What does this mean? How can I benefit from this? What did I want to learn? What is the takeaway? Because every struggle you have is pointing you in the direction of what you wanted to know. What did you want to experience? And you have to do the work to figure it out. No, it does not come easy. That's why people like me and other mediums and therapists and healers and stuff like that are around to help you get through this, to help you interpret and figure it out for yourself. But through that work that you do, it's amazing the breakthroughs. Again, Metatron's going this, you know, these epiphanies, because once they come, there's joy. You tap into the joy. He wants me to remind you too that in a dualistic world like we're in, every time there's something difficult or painful, on the other side is joy, bliss, love. You got to go through to get to the other side though. Okay? When you go through it, I'll give you an example and then I'll start wrapping things up. Sometimes when I'm processing energy, especially if I'm doing a healing session for someone and I'm starting to pull up and feel some of their past or past life stuff and their emotions and things are coming up, and I know that it needs to be processed back to love, processing back to source. That's the goal of everything of energy being processed. It's going back to source. And when you do that, you've got to pull it through what feels icky, sticky, stuck, painful. And the first time Metatron told me that, I was like, it already hurts. I don't want to keep pulling into it more. He was like, yes, but on the other side of that is where the freedom is, where the love is, and where there's no pain. And so I want to leave you guys with that concept. Have you ever been in a painful situation that you've allowed yourself to go through the pain all the way to the other side where there's actually good stuff? And if you haven't, try it. Try it. Let me know how it goes. I was pleasantly surprised, and it's usually just a few seconds that you're like really feeling, because what you're doing is you're setting the intention that you're going to go through the difficult to get to the bliss. And when you have that intention that that's where you're going, you won't stick or stagnant in the pain or in the difficult part unless you attach to it. You have to stay disconnected, but just be like, my mission, my intention is to get through this darkness into the light, because that's where your goal is. That's where you want to be. I hope that makes sense. Thanks. All right. Thank you, Metatron. Interesting messages today, you guys. I hope that they end up resonating or helping for you. Like always, now that I know where the comments are, I would love for you to comment and share your inspirations and stories if you would like. Other than that, I look forward to talking to you next week. Have a good one. All right. Bye.